All right, welcome back. So last time we broke down what the Three Lines Model is. Today, we're going to meet the stars of the show, the who. These are the key players that make this whole thing tick. Let's dive in. I mean, have you ever really thought about it? How do these gigantic, globe-spanning companies actually work? We're talking thousands of people, billions of dollars. How does it not all just, fall apart? Well, it's not magic, and it's definitely not luck. There's a secret blueprint, a framework they use to build for success, manage all that crazy risk, and make sure everyone is rowing in the same direction. And yeah, you guessed it, that blueprint is the Three Lines Model. Okay, to really get a handle on this, let's build something together. Let's imagine we're constructing a massive skyscraper. I mean, you can't just dump a pile of steel beams on a lot and hope a building appears, right? No way. You need a team, and every single person on that team has a very specific, very important job.
So where does any project start? With an idea, right? A vision. You need a client, the person who actually wants the skyscraper built. In the world of the Three Lines Model, we call them the governing body.
So the governing body is our client. They're the ones putting up the money and saying, I want a 100-story glass and steel masterpiece right here. They have the final say on everything. They decide the vision, the budget, and, this is super important, how much risk they're willing to stomach to make it happen. But this isn't just about dreams and blueprints. In business terms, this translates to some serious responsibilities. They're the ones accountable to stakeholders, the investors, the public. They set the entire ethical culture. And they're the ones who hire the construction crew, that's management, and hand over the responsibility to build. But, and this is a big but, they keep a close eye on everything. Oh, and they also hire a special inspector to keep everyone honest, but we'll get to them in a bit. All right, so the client's vision is set, the blueprint is approved. Now what? Well, you need a crew on the ground, right? The people who will actually build this thing. That's management. And they're actually split into two different but equally crucial teams. Think of it like this. You've got the builders. We call them the first line. They're the ones with the tool belts on, pouring concrete, welding steel, doing the day-to-day work. Then you've got the engineers, the second line. They're not welding, but they're checking the structural plans, monitoring for safety issues, and basically providing the expertise to make sure the builders can do their job right. Both of them together, that's your construction crew. That's management. So our builders, the front line, they are right in the middle of the action. They're leading the charge, managing risks as they happen in real time. Is this shipment of glass up to code? Are the welders following safety protocols? They are the ones making the blueprint a reality, day in and day out. And then you've got our engineers, the second line. They're the specialists. They're not just swinging hammers. They're offering that critical expertise on risk. They're developing the safety harnesses, the quality control checks, and making sure everything is compliant with all those pesky laws and regulations. They support the builders and keep the whole operation on the straight and narrow. Okay, so we've got our client with the big vision. We've got our crew, builders, and engineers working hard, but hold on a second. Who's making sure they're actually following the blueprint? I mean, really, who's checking the work to make sure it's up to the client's standards? That's where our independent inspector comes in. In the business world, this is the internal audit function. And their whole deal, their absolute superpower, is independence. Get this, they don't work for the construction crew. They don't report to management at all. They report directly and only to the client, the governing body. You'll often hear them called the eyes and ears of the governing body. And it's the perfect description, really. They give the client the real story, a completely unfiltered, unbiased look at what's actually happening on the construction site, straight from the source. This direct line to the top, it's everything. It means if our inspector finds a crack in the foundation, they can go tell the client directly. There's no construction foreman trying to get them to, just gloss over it. That independence is absolutely crucial. And frankly, it's one of the first things that breaks down when you hear about those big corporate disasters. Okay, so we've met the whole team, our clients, our crew, and our independent inspector. But just having talented people isn't enough, right? For this skyscraper to actually get built without falling over, they all have to talk to each other. They have to be in sync. So how does that work? First up, the connection between the client and the crew. It's a two-way street. The governing body hands down the plan and the money to management. In return, management reports back constantly on how things are going. It's this continuous conversation that keeps the whole project aligned with that original vision. Next, how do the crew and the inspector talk?
Now remember, the inspector, internal audit, is independent, but that doesn't mean they're hiding in a closet somewhere. They have to coordinate with management. They need to understand what's being built, get access to the site, and make sure their inspections are actually useful, not just repeating stuff the engineers are already checking. It's all about collaboration. And finally, we have the most critical connection of all, the inspector to the client. Internal audit has a direct, unbreakable line to the governing body. We're talking private meetings, no managers allowed, where they can give the unvarnished truth. This is the ultimate accountability check. So at the end of the day, it really boils down to three simple things: coordination, collaboration, and communication. If any one of those lines gets cut, the whole project is in danger. But when they're all working together, man, that structure is rock solid. And when that happens, when everyone is playing their part and communicating perfectly, you don't just get a building, you get a masterpiece. You get a strong, stable organization that's built to last. So, there you have it. The blueprint is perfect, the team is in place. It all sounds great on paper, doesn't it? But what happens when a storm hits? What happens when this perfect model slams into the messy reality of the real world? Well, that's what we're going to get into next time as we put the 3 lines model into action. See you then.